Issue 22, The New Work Regimen. I work for a big company and have a terrific job. After it downsized, however, I now work 60-hour-plus weeks. I do the same job 4 other people used to do. By the time I get home, I'm thoroughly exhausted. But, nevertheless, I take a ton of work home with me and spend several hours a night on the phone or checking my electronic mail on my computer at home. Of course, I am quite thankful for my job, which has provided me with an interesting career and a comfortable lifestyle for many years, and I don't consider myself a whiner. But the new pace and the hours I have to keep are absurd. It burdens not only myself, but my family as well. What is worse, the company refuses to see that this regimen will have negative long-term effects upon itself. When you work constantly, your mind doesn't function as well as it normally does. I know I am not as productive on the job as I should be. Because I'm tired, I don't take the same pride in my work I used to, so slapdash is good enough for me these days. I don't have any opportunity to spend my money enjoyably, so I don't much care how much I make, and I don't have any incentive at all to work harder to make more. So the company is suffering as well. This is not just my opinion. I hear this from friends and coworkers too. It seems to me that if the work we do can't be done in a normal work week, then perhaps we need more people to do the job, or we need less work to do.
Comprehension. 1. What happened to the job after the company downsized? 2. Why doesn't the person work as productively as before? 3. Why should more people be hired?
Let's talk. One, what will probably happen if these work conditions go unabated? 2. Would you continue to work under these circumstances, or would you quit? 3. Is there a work style that would suit the needs of managers and employees alike? If so, describe it. 4. Would you work extra hours for better pay? 5. Who do you think do the most work, employees or employers? 6. Who do you think is more responsible if a company is in trouble, workers or bosses?
Opinion samples. 1. Work is not a very adequate word. Too many people think that the only workers are the ones who use their hands to make something or extract something. Even the notion of typing or filing something is not always accorded the status of work by those who discount white-collar jobs as somehow bogus. This ignores the simple fact that work also includes brain work. Sellers, organizers, strategists, and others keep the workplace alive. If they fail, the manual workers have nothing to do and soon have no job either. If one measures work in terms of time spent on the job, the people who perform the mental functions usually put in the longest days and weeks. Everyone else can go home at the end of the shift, but the non-physical workers never truly finish the job and have to be available at any hour. It is like the human body. The muscles may be strong and flexible, the organs may all perform their tasks to perfection, but if the brain goes dead, everything else collapses as well. Question: which people want to be white-collar workers and which blue-collar workers? Who are better paid? Why?
2. Whose responsibility is it for a company's success? A. It depends. If the company is in trouble, workers are naturally expected to sacrifice their time and money until the situation improves. If it is doing well, the executives need to reward their workers for their productivity. B. Nobody can have a job without having problems. But one thing is clear. Everybody feels overworked and underappreciated. C. Look for a job that is not very demanding, even though it may mean a smaller paycheck. Money isn't everything. I've never heard of a man on his deathbed saying, "I wish I could have spent more time at the office." Question. Discuss the answer in light of the attitudes above.
Issue 22, The New Work Regimen.
Did you hear? The company is going to lay off 10% of its employees.
That's a lot of workers out of a job. I feel sorry for them. Who's going to feed their families?
It'll just be temporary, I'm sure. Most of them have valuable skills and a lot of experience, so they should be able to get new jobs pretty easily.
At the lower levels, perhaps. The ordinary workers are often the ones who can cope with the changed situation the easiest. But the mid-level managers will have it the hardest, I'm afraid.
Why do you think so?
Because they are not young enough to accept entry-level positions again, but they are not old enough to have gained enough savvy to take on a high-level executive job. Companies will hire younger new managers who are just getting started, or older, highly qualified upper bosses with much experience. They'll promote their own mid-level executives into higher positions and won't need new people to fill the middle.
In my mind, the situation looks like a bell-shaped curve. The youngest and least experienced people looking for jobs and the extremely successful old ones will have the highest rate of getting a job, and the ones in the middle will have the hardest time.
Exactly.
But don't you think it's different for non-executives? What about the ordinary workers?
If they have a skilled trade that is in demand, their age won't matter at all. The well-experienced ones may make more money, but the new ones with skills won't have trouble finding jobs.
On the other hand, they're being punished unfairly by losing their jobs. It's not their fault that the company has been mismanaged. If the bosses had done their jobs correctly, nobody would be laid off.
The ones at the very top are the ones who made the bad decisions, but because of their controlling positions, they are not the ones who will have to leave. Unfortunately, their immediate subordinates will pay the highest price.
Questions. 1. Who is likely to be hurt the most? Why? 2. Who won't get harmed at all? Why? 3. Describe a bell-shaped curve.